And it's because of a system and a culture that lifts everyone up. And what I say is that culture will beat strategy every single day. Every single day, culture will beat a strategy. You almost can't go wrong with the way that the appreciation works. And so if it checks the boxes, it's really hard for it to be a bad investment. It would have to be a massive, massive failure in order for it to be a poor investment. Everything. So I'm not sure what happened.
Take a nice one, Tyler.
12.
Yeah.
Or almost think about it like, what if your mindset was like, what could I delegate to Gary Keller to do, right? Like, if Gary was my assistant, what could I delegate to him? Because then that starts to like have you in the mindset of like, okay, what can I exclusively do on my own? And the only thing eventually that you can do is actually like keep relationships. Once you teach Gary how your like pattern of thought and pattern of language is, he's talented enough that he'll be able to take care of everything else, right? $1,900? That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. But now the seller's agent is like, he's like, well, we're not going to pay your rent, and we would be afraid of coming in like
5 for the month, probably. Like, that shows how freaking powerful the power of momentum is. So do you think that if I called each one of your 10 people, they would know your mission statement and recite it?
Yeah, I mean, we go every Monday at our team meeting.
There you go.
We go around and someone shares it.
Okay. What do they share? Like, what is it?
They're reading it.
Okay.
Or saying it if they know it.
Yeah.
So if you called every 10, would all of them know word for word?
What is your
I'd
mission
say
statement?
Our mission is to build legacies for our clients, our team, family, and friends, through delivering and supporting them in the perfect real estate experience.
Okay. You could do a 10-part feature on what legacy means to every 10 people on your team, to every person on their team. If it means something different for everyone, then you've weaved in your mission statement to the public and featuring each person on your team. So like, what does legacy mean to you? What does legacy mean to, like, and then you're getting to double dip. So you're telling your story and their story at the same time. So that's I think how you start attracting people to your message, is by everything you do marketing wise then revolves around that message also. Impacted her positively.
Yeah. So are you accepting that, okay, I'm just going to help grow people and then they may leave, or are you looking to have not a revolving door? Because
I don't want a revolving door. I think that having 2 people that I actually didn't think would ever leave now makes me okay with turnover.
Yeah, okay.
Because I just look at it like, as long as we don't have operational turnover, I'm not too worried about having sales team turnover. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And there's especially people on our team I don't want to turn over, but I think it's unfortunately probably the nature of our business. And that's because I think what I know, like we knew it, but now it's like so evident and tangible, is that culture of everyone rowing together the same direction is so much more powerful than we give it credit for. So I'll let you tell the story of what it looked like when you started 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
We had several files we hadn't been paid on, like green sheets. This guy still doesn't know what a green sheet is.
True story.
So I started doing those. I realized we had probably 10 transactions we hadn't been paid on, and then there were about 20 transactions that we had been paid on, but those checks were sitting in his top drawer because all he was doing was money-making tasks. So going and opening a business account was not money producing for Eric, so it was not a priority. Everything was about meeting people and getting contracts signed. So
at the end of that year, we went to Puerto Rico 3 times to visit and see if we could live there. We were like, we're gonna take our money, sell everything, live in a 2-bedroom, and just be done with real estate. We were so done with real estate. We were exhausted and just figured our kids deserve better. And then we got a MAPS coach, and they were basically like, look, break through or break down. And so we decided, okay, we're gonna try to start hiring people. So that's what we did. So we pushed through, and we made several hires that were not great fits, but we didn't have the systems, we didn't have the accountability, we didn't have the standards, we didn't understand our culture, I think. And so but after each hire, we learned a lot. Like, that is the benefit. So we really learned a lot, and I think over the last couple years, we've really learned who we need, who we hire, who is important to us, and culture is the biggest thing. For a while, I was like, okay, hustle. Like, we need the hustle. We need the smart person. We do look at hungry, humble, smart. You know, that's kind of gotten popular, but that really is it. We have a very unique way of prospecting too. Our business is 100% by referral. We've never bought a lead or made a cold call. So it's a very particular person who that works for on our team. Thank you.
I think a lot of it is we as real estate agents, we get hung up on thinking that we're important. In Indiana, it takes 15 times more classroom training to cut hair than it does to sell real estate. And when you think you're important into the transaction, let me ask you this. Anybody have a closing? Show of hands, who has closings in the next 60 days? Okay. Now, if you walk out and you're sadly hit by a bus, what do you think the likelihood is that your client will move in the next 60 days? 9%. You're not that important. And that's because 2 consumers want to transact over a piece of real estate. And so when we're able to finally disconnect ourselves as being the linchpin to the transaction, we can then start to allow more talented people to come into our world and take over the process and then build up the business for you. And it's not until we can make peace with the fact that what we do is not that special, it is duplicatable by someone else. So give away what's not your strength to someone whose it is in order to build a big enough life to where you can help create purpose for other people who are in your world. And that's really, people will ask all the time, how did you build it quickly? I hired people and I got out of the way.